What's up guys, how you doing? So apologies, you've not had any videos for a couple of days. I took 2 days away, been out wild camping in the Lake District, did a couple of mountains on Saturday and camped by a tarn, a mountain lake, which is absolutely lush. I'll show you a photo of a couple of photos of where we were. Okay, but now I'm back, so no chess for a couple of days. I thought I needed a loosener to get back into the flow, so I go to my soft play area, leechess.org, and I'll just take you through my game. Lots of fun. So I've got e4, e5, knight to c3, the Vienna game. Now, obviously with knight f6, you go into the Vienna Gambit. Well, I do. My opponent here plays knight c6. Now, previously, I've always played my bishop out to here. So going for like semi-copycat or the copycat line. So if black responds in kind, you get into some interesting fun with the queen out here. But that very often doesn't happen. What happens a lot is you bring your bishop out and then they'll bring their knight out or play d6 or something a bit boring. And in fact, I don't have a great record against the semi-copycat line. So recently I found a new line which also happens to be called the Vienna Gambit. So this is a different version because you've got a knight here instead of a knight here, right? So I think we need a new name for this one. So answers in the comments, please. What should we call this? So the engine says it's Vienna Gambit, but I really think it needs a name of its own, and it's quite evil. So here again, my opponent declines and runs into, well, brings out the bishop, and this looks like a perfectly natural move. Now, first test for black, first test for you. Can you see an obvious tactic? Okay, and this is a pattern that I guess could come up in loads and loads of different kind of variations. Right, so the idea is it's because the bishop is here, and the pawn is here, and the pawn is defended by the knight, right? So the pawn's defended by the knight. It's 2 squares away from this bishop, right? Do you see it? So I capture on e5, daring my opponent to recapture with a knight. And he thinks for a bit, and then he does recapture. And then, of course, the next move is d4, and we have a pawn fork on the 2 minor pieces. Happy days. And look at my center. So I haven't even surrendered a pawn here, right? My opponent's going to have to waste the tempo moving one of his pieces, and he's going to lose the other one. So he captures with the bishop, I take with my queen, right? And it all goes Pete Tong from this point for black, okay? Now, I don't know how accurate this is. I haven't analysed it on Lichess, and there seems to be an issue with chess.com as well, so I'm not going to try and import it into the analysis board there, but we'll just take it through. We'll play through the game for fun. So black now plays d6, defending the knight from the queen. He wants to leave his knight in the center. That makes perfect sense. Why not? All right, so now what do we do? Right, issue. We've got a queen out on the board. We have good central control. We've got a knight out controlling the center, but we still have 3 minor pieces that have to come out. So my next move is bishop f4. Okay, this now gives me the option of castling long, putting my rook straight on the d file, which here happens to be semi-open. Very important. And I'm putting 2 attackers on the knights, defended only once, so immediately I'm giving black something to deal with. So now black counterattacks, which is interesting, with c5 hitting my queen. And there's a lot of places my queen could go. I'm not wide awake at this point. So I just decide to go back to e3. Now, I know that the knight could go here. That's definitely possible. But I like the fact that the queen is defending everything. The other thing I've always got to be conscious of is this move here. But right now, I have g3. So I'm quite comfortable with that. A knight does come here, which is maybe a bit of a waste of a move, because the knight's defended there. And with a board like this, I don't think white's really going to want to give up his bishop for a knight. Having said that, he is up material, so maybe black's just worried about giving up exchanges. But this is, yeah, I mean, that's defended by a bishop. It's okay. So I just slide my queen across, but now I'm looking at g7, which is undefended. Black brings out his queenie to here, and I just decide to castle long at this point. Right? Looking at this pawn, note I now have no fewer than three attackers on this pawn on d6 now. Black seems to miss the threat of that, so I slide in with my rook, and lo and behold, rook's covering all of those, bishop's covering those, pawn's covering those, and the queen is actually now trapped. Black now comes up with what I think was a really good move though, playing knight to f5, counter-attacking my queen. So he understands the counter-attack. And if your brain doesn't think about counter-attacks when you're under attack, start thinking about it. Right? It can be really, really useful. So here, yeah, I'm attacking the queen. I've got options. You know, I can move my queen away and whatever, but I decide to take the knight with the pawn for free. The queen's still under attack, and I know that the queen can recapture here, but the point is we're here to win the game, not necessarily to get points for artistic impression and style, and Black's king is still in the middle of the board, and I'm severely up in material. So bishop out to b5 with check, and so the king can't go here or here, so he's only got two squares really he can go to, and there's nothing. I mean, bishop could block there, but then bishop takes, forks king queen, so that's not like okay, and there we go, and Black resigns. Right, just really, really simple game, but I think we need a name for this variety of gambit. So I'm not thinking all that clever right now, but maybe you can come up with an idea. Yeah, it really deserves a name of its own, because this is the Vienna Gambit. This is the Vienna Gambit as far as I'm concerned. This one, I don't know. But you guys normally come up with some great ideas, so please let me know. And if you're a Vienna player, yeah, and you, like me, you don't have the best results from playing this copycat line, you know, because there's all kinds of things that Black can do from here, then give this a whirl, because I think it's lots of fun. And this, quite honestly, I mean, it just looks so natural. Black's thinking, if you think from Black's point of view, here, Black's thinking, well, that's not a major threat, you know, it's covered. So what do? We go back to development. Okay, I can bring my knight out, right? I can bring the bishop out, so on and so forth. So I will have a study on this in my, well, I'll have a thing on it in my Vienna study. But I like this. I think it's got legs. Now, you do always have to be careful about this. So, you know, what if they bring their queen out straight away, but here you've got g3, right, automatically. So that's really not a problem. That's only an issue, really, when you've got a knight like here, for example, where knight can take. But right now, we're okay. So there you go. Interesting line. Definitely worth building into your Vienna repertoire. I'm certainly going to keep playing it because so far I'm having lots of fun and good results as well. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.